I'm a bad motherfucker.
All right, so you didn't know I had such a lovely singing voice, right?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so the German farmers are at it again. Usually, I don't like to see Germans shouting in a crowd, but in this case, I'm completely for it. There's no more money, German minister tells rowdy farmers. Germany's finance minister, Christian Lindner, took the stage on Monday in front of thousands of jeering farmers protesting against tax rises and told them there was no money for further subsidies. Berlin has been brought to a near standstill by the demonstration, which filled one of its central avenues with trucks and tractors as some 10,000 farmers arrived to cap a week of protests that have become a flashpoint for anti-government anger. Quote, I can't promise you more state aid from the federal budget, Lindner told the crowd from a chilly stage in front of the Brandenburg Gate, but we can fight together for you to enjoy more freedom and respect for your work.
I just want you to enjoy what you have more.
You know, you can't. You cannot get away with that kind of double talk in a country where they actually get an education.
I know they sent all their money to Ukraine.
That's like worthy of Joe Biden. That formulation. The protests have heaped pressure on Chancellor Olaf Scholz's coalition as it struggles to fix a budget mess and contain right-wing groups. Of course, this is Reuters, by the way.
Why do we even have two sides if one's
It's
evil?
always those right-wing groups.
Yeah.
Anything that's for the people. Oh, those right-wing groups. Facing a backlash, the government has already said it would maintain a tax rebate on new agricultural vehicles and spread the scrapping of the agricultural diesel subsidy over several years. But farmers, with the vocal backing of the opposition conservatives and the far right, say that is not enough. You know, it kind of sounds like, and we're going to get into this, it kind of sounds like this whole war in Ukraine thing and blowing up their pipeline.
Yeah.
Not that blowing up the pipeline wasn't safe and effective, and who knows who was responsible for that.
It was just one guy. They got him.
But we're on Rumble.
Him.
I don't need disclaimers. Well, maybe for the editors for when they drop it on YouTube.
Yes.
But yeah, it seems like we're destabilizing Germany, and if you know your history, you do not want to destabilize those people. Lindner, describing himself as a lad from the countryside who had mucked out stables in his time. See, I'm one of you. This guy is like the German Joe Biden, it sounds like. Delaware Lindner over here.
It's going to be like global Biden. Yeah.
Amtrak Lindner. Sought to win over farmers by contrasting their peaceful protest in Berlin to the behavior of climate activists who had sprayed paint on the Brandenburg Gate. Quote, the symbol of German national unity.
Oh, that stupid orange paint thing from the glue their head to paintings people.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's very slick because he knows this crowd probably doesn't like the soup on paintings crowd. So you don't want to be like those people. But he said scarce money was needed for long neglected investments in schools and roads and for industrial energy subsidies.
In Ukraine, I assume.
That's coming right up. Jeers grew louder when Lindner said money was needed because of the war in Ukraine.
He really said that?
Yes, he literally said that to them.
I'd love to help you, but Ukraine.
I am telling you, this guy is the German Joe Biden. With the war in Ukraine, peace and freedom in Europe are threatened once again. So we have to invest once again in our security as we used to, he said. The Ukraine war that was my tribute to Peter Sellers. Ukraine war expected to cost Germany 160 billion euros by year end. Who could have seen this coming, that this was going to cause problems in Germany? German industry to pay 40% more for energy than pre-crisis.
That's not so bad.
Study says. Yeah, it's not so bad. It's like that's. I mean, have you ordered from Grubhub lately? I was talking about that the other night.
It's crazy.
Holy Jesus! The gas prices out here are nuts.
How much is gas out here?
$5.67. I took a picture of the other day.
Seems normal.
We got way higher than that. It was up to $7 not too long ago.
I read about that. No,
but $5 charges myself.
King, you drive. How much is gas up by you?
Here in New York, it actually has gone down. That's why I am actually considering voting for Joe Biden now that gas is about $3.09 a gallon. I might not be available to co-host this program much longer. If it goes below $3, that's it. My vote's locked in.
How much is it now, though?
No, it's about $3.10, which is down from about $3.80, $3.90 a couple months ago.
Okay. So from the Berlin Farmers Demonstration Monday, break up the corporate structures, break up the monopolies and cartels, and let farmers produce food. The cartels, quote, are monopolistically organized in large corporate structures. That is why we are demanding that these monopolies be broken up, that there be an unbundling law so that we can negotiate with each other on an equal footing again. They are demanding no increase of taxes for farm sector, break up the monopolies, end additional regulations, bureaucracy inspections, no genetically modified seeds or synthetic meat. Listen, that synthetic meat, I will not fuck with that. Freaking
it's a tumor.
They're growing that out of shit, man. Ugh. And tumors. Yeah, I've seen that
it's
too.
It's not as not gross as that. It's a tumor they grow.
Right.
It's really bad.
It's made in a lab by scientists. That means it's good.
It's safe and effective. These are safe and effective tumors.
And they're very safe and effective tumors.
I wash it down with a tall glass of Bill Gates poop water myself.
Tall glass of chemotherapy liquid. Interview with Peter Gould of the Independent Farmers.
Worum geht's hier heute? Ich habe eine Unterstützungserklärung von amerikanischen Landwirten und Bauern, die sind vollkommen begeistert. Sie sagen, wir brauchen einen Panzer.
Shall I read this?
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Tell us about today's event. I have a statement of support from American farmers. They are totally enthusiastic. They say we need a transatlantic alliance, otherwise we won't be able to do it because it's a much bigger issue, a global issue. Yes, I think we actually have similar problems. This is the farmer. Farmers in America, as we hear from time to time, of course, have questions about how global food production is going to continue. And certainly have questions about whether it can go on like this. With the whole thing organized in huge corporate structures that are growing and growing. Cargill is perhaps the key word here. Yep. Monsanto, BASF. And in this respect, I think the problems are similar, and they are making themselves heard here in Berlin today. So you understand you're having, as in every field, you're having consolidation. You have the consolidation of these food companies, and it's strangling the farmers, not just in Germany, but in America, in France, as we will see. In the next slide. And they're making it impossible for these farmers to leverage their power in order to negotiate for better conditions. So here we have the French, with their typical joie de vivre, decided to do a particularly scatological protest. So this is from the Vigilant Fox. Holy shit! Literally, French farmers, like their German counterparts, are also fed up with crippling globalist policies in the name of curbing climate change. Thousands of farmers demonstrated today from Occitania to Toulouse and dumped more than 100 trailers worth of manure and waste. That's a protest.
It is a very nice protest.
Where are they putting it? Where are they dumping it? We know.
I'm not sure.
I hope it's not at an orphanage. I hope it's at like some kind of politician.
Hopefully it's at the throne suburbs.
I hope they're wearing a mask because it seems like I bet there's a lot of COVID inside that.
Probably. Those cows.
They eat the COVID and they shit it out.
Well, they think that's where COVID came from. It's from the cows.
Okay, we get it.
Okay, so
I want to see it finish.
That's what's nice about being on Rumble. You can just let the shit flow.
Yeah.
Right? You can just let it come out. So, I mean, it's it's kind of perfect timing for this to be happening while the goons at Davos are flying their private planes in and telling us that we have to eat bugs and limit our consumption, that these farmers are rising up. And of course, Reuters pulled the usual trick. It's the right-wingers. It's the right-wingers. It's not the right-wingers. It's the people.
Far right.
Versus the Davos globalists. You have anything, Keaton?
I mean, the French are so great. I mean, could you imagine? Like, we could never even imagine. You're walking down the street in New York City, a fucking tractor rolls down Lexington Avenue spraying shit all over the sidewalk. Like,
Would you settle for a homeless
there's
guy?
things you just can't get here.
I would move back if they do that. I will be on the next plane back to New York if they spray shit all over Madison Avenue.
How would you see a
That is
difference?
my vow. And in fact, I used to be a horse and carriage driver. I know exactly where you could get that shit.
Still? They keep that shit in Manhattan still?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, it was in like the 30s near where Hudson Yards is now, right? That's where the stables were?
Yeah. There's one on 38th Street. There's one on 52nd, right around the corner from the Hustler Club and down the block from the Daily Show.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And you used to have farmers actually would come and take it away. So it was very cost and effective for them. They would take it away as manure. So it wouldn't take much, just whisper in those farmers' ears, hey, listen, man, there's 50 in it for you if you spray this on Saks Fifth Avenue.
Well, there you go. I assume they moved the shit out to Jersey when they built the Hudson Yards. I assume they got rid of that.
Nope, still there.
Okay,
still
I have
there.
a question. How is making these places smell better going to show protest?
Don't take a dig at our Gaelic friends. We have a lot of French viewers. Jimmy, you have anything on this?
Well, it just makes me think of Carl Jung and what he said about the dark shadow is like the excrement, but of course you need that excrement to make things grow.
Oh, that's what I thought he said. You could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it shit.
No, you can make it shit. But that did make me think of that people like to, not to derail this conversation or segment, but that people like to put into their unconscious the dark side of themselves. What you need to do is make it conscious, all the things you hate about yourself, because that's where your creativity comes from. That's what actually fuels you. Just like manure makes you grow a rose or makes you grow food. We live in a world of opposites, and you need both of them. Otherwise, you're half a man. Anyway, that's all I have to say about it.
Well, I think the panel is in agreement that New York needs to spray shit all over Fifth Avenue, right? I think that's the upshot of the segment.
So, no, can I actually just say one more thing about this? That I love that the farmers are not putting up with this shit, and that I can't believe that they really think people are going to put up with it. They did kill a bunch of cows, like over in the Netherlands or something, and they're making us think that the problem of climate change comes down on the shoulders of Dutch farmers. And
the nitrogen, Jimmy.
Yeah, the nitrogen.
And their private jets.
Yeah,
they're
not
known for their private jets.
That's right. So you need food to live. I'm increasingly not believing what they say about climate change. You don't have to doubt that the earth might be warming up or cooling or whatever to know that those people are lying about it, and if there might be a real problem, but whatever they tell you to do about that real problem, you should do the opposite. By the way, I still have the blue bin that we put recyclables in, right? So we've covered on this show, I covered on this show years ago at the Aggressive Progressives, that they don't recycle your recyclables. So China stopped taking our recyclables years ago, and so you know what they do with those recyclables? They put in a fucking landfill. Yeah. That's what's going on with your recycling
trucks.
Well, especially with plastics, because plastics all have different chemical compositions. So it is almost impossible for them to mix and match the plastics properly in order to recycle them. So that answers my question, Jimmy, about recycling on your property.
What it does?
Yep, I was going to ask you. Do they fine you out here?
I still throw stuff. No, I've never heard of it, but I still throw stuff in a recycling bin, and I still throw garbage in the garbage.
It makes you comfortable.
And I still put them. I don't know why I do it, but I still do it. Misha, do you do it? Yeah, we all. Do you do it, Kurt?
Yeah, Jenna makes me.
Yeah.
She don't even believe in it either.
I mean, I was doing it because I was like, yeah, that's all I need for Jimmy to get a ticket because I didn't put the plastic in a different bin. But now that I heard that,
makes
fuck
it
that
right all
shit.
the time. But I mean, it would, like, how would you get a ticket? You would only get a ticket if the guy throwing the shit in the recycling truck was enough of a brown noser to like dig through the bag and realize, oh, there's a Dunkin' Donuts
I know it
styrofoam
happens
cup in here.
I know it happens
Has
to
it
some
happened? I've never
buildings
heard
in New
of that
York.
thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
never
where
heard.
landlords get
Yeah,
tickets for not
100%.
separating the recycling. Yeah.
No
Yup.
kidding.
They have to pay the supers to do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God. Again, another don't listen to what the WEF, the Dows, or the authorities are telling you about climate change, recycling, Russiagate, COVID. I could keep going on. Syria, Ukraine. Don't listen to anything they're saying. They're lying to you. Okay, and on that note,
we're going to go to a break.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit